What is going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds, hanging out for another episode of the Retro Handhelds podcast. Joined today, once again, by my co-host, Rob, the Retro Tech Dad, Mr. Aish Rios of Aish Talks Tech, and back again, we have the Dweeb from his mom's basement, TechDweeb. Welcome,
hi everybody. Oh yeah,
Welcome.
thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this all week. It's only Monday, but it's been a short week so far. But I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm completely ready. I got everything I need for our game.
Our game. Okay.
Did you say game?
Yeah.
Do you say Gamma OS or
no? We're
like retro handheld, right? That's
we're here for Dungeons.
handhelds.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. We could talk about we're here for Dungeons and Dragons, right?
You said Ambernick RG35XX?
Okay, I was under the impression we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Was I mistaken, or I got everything ready? That's why I showed up.
I thought we were going to be maybe talking about, I don't know, like the 28XX and color scheme options. You know, it pairs well with the Vino. But I mean, we could.
So I have a question.
About Dungeons and Dragons, I guess.
Stubbs, you are mailing that color to me, right?
No, I told you, Rob. I told you, I'm not mailing you your beloved lavender lotion handheld until you come with me to Computex. Because I can't fly it
off my desk. I don't know. I have a razor sticker. Do you want that in exchange for that?
I guess, but
wait. So are we playing Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't want to.
I thought we had news to cover.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, do we have news?
Can we put a pin in that, TechDweeb? I guess we got some handheld news to cover. Is that okay for now?
Okay. Well, yeah, sure. My second favorite thing in the world after Dungeons and Dragons is retro handheld. So I guess I'll try to keep my disappointment at a minimum. But
okay, fair.
You really
I don't want to make a young man cry. All right. Well,
all right.
We'll get around to that. In the meantime, everybody, we do have some news to cover. There's lots of crazy things happening once again. Actually, a pretty light news day. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but there's more talk about the minis and some new firmware options coming to the 28XX. And of course, we're hanging out with our buddy TechDweeb. So let's just dive right in and see where the wind takes us this evening. First off, in live chat, how are you all doing? Those listening at home, I hope you're all having a pleasant evening, or maybe if you're sleeping, I'm hoping you're having some good dreams. Think about spaghetti.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Oh, one thing that I wanted to let you know is I broke my toe today. I'm not even joking.
Are
you okay?
Are we gonna get a
no, it's broken. My baby toe is broken.
Oh,
it's not even a joke. I'm not even joking. I've
never known you to make jokes. I'm really sorry that happened to you.
Don't ask how. It's never when you break a toe, it's never doing something cool.
I was watching Fallout, this TV show, which is awesome, by the way, and that one dude's toe got like cut off or ripped in half. Is that like how it looks? Is it dangling there a little bit, or is it?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. That scene from that show did flash through my brain as soon as I heard my toe crack.
Oh, I got some lotion for you if it helps at all to maybe make it feel a bit better. Or no.
Yeah, it's my baby toe, so that those things kind of heal on their own. There's no medical attention needed. I called the tele in Canada. We have this like hotline. It's called telehealth. So I called them. And they were like, yeah, if you think your toe's broken, you can just be careful with it. There's no need for a toe cast or anything. So yeah, just gotta baby my toe.
Well, if you need, did your mom take you to the hospital or any other options?
No, she laughed. It was kind of cruel.
She sounds.
I think she knew that I was actually fine, so she doesn't mind poking fun at me. We have that kind of relationship.
I don't think lotion and feet is something you want to mix on the internet.
No, I don't. I don't.
Let me just Google that.
As we usually say on this podcast, don't Google that.
Don't Google that.
Don't Google it, everybody. Well, let's talk about. Let's just dive into it for real this time, though. For real, we're talking about the Ayaneo Pocket S, and pre-orders opened up this week. So if you are wondering, do I want something that performs even better than an Odin 2 in a lighter form factor, but for way more money, this might be for you. Now, let me preface all this by saying the Odin 2, we still consider it really the best Android handheld, because the hardware that this has, actually, the software hasn't caught up to even make use of this yet. So I would say this is right off the bat probably not a necessary order, but for those of us with a sickness who can't help but tinker and play with all these new devices from China, this actually looks pretty cool. So pre-orders finally open for this. We've been talking about it for months.
Yep.
Finally, they're here, starting at $400, which is a ridiculous starting price point. You can get yourself a Steam Deck. You can get yourself a really high-spec Odin 2. But if you really want a flashy, thin, lightweight Ayaneo Android handheld, here you go, because they go all the way up to about $700. So there's a 1440p screen version, so you can have a fancy version, but there's less battery life that way. Or 1080p, which is what I ordered, just the $400 base model, because I don't need more than that. It's giving you already 12 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage.
It's so overkill, especially that $799 model. What the...
I mean, at 6 inches, 1440p just makes so little sense. That's like, what is Retina DPI? Isn't that like 200 DPI or something like that?
You don't even need that. Yeah, on such a small screen. The only reason people really like the 1440p, I think, is it's like perfect integer scaling for GBA and all that. But you are losing battery life, so I would say just go with the 1080p, save some money.
Don't get this.
I mean, we needed the 4K on the Pimax Portal for all the VR we're doing with it. So, but here it doesn't make as much sense. I guess.
Called out.
Oh,
about that VR.
Pimax just keeps catching strays.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Wait, you're not doing VR? Oh, you're missing out.
So
no, I never got that update.
The 1440...
I just hold it real close to my face.
Yeah, fair. I need that. The 1440p version is a limited edition pre-order, so if you want to get it, those ones are going to be gone soon. And here's the other thing: if you want this,
everything Ayaneo is limited edition.
It is, but that's just how they're advertising it. But if you want this faster and you have to have it, you really need this device. It does ship faster, so you're going to get this mid-May if you go with the 1440p versus the end of June if you wait for the regular. But I'm okay waiting because I just don't know how huge this one's going to be. You know, guys, I don't think it's going to dethrone the Odin 2, even though technically it's a bit more powerful. But we're not using that power yet.
This is going to be niche, just like the Pocket Air was as well. It's just everything Ayaneo, I feel like, is niche at this point.
It's more appealing to me than the Odin 2, and I don't know why. I like it. I like the look of it, especially with the grip. Yeah, that case with the grip case looks pretty cozy. I like that it's kind of versatile, and the actual design of it. I think it's beautiful. I really like the photos they have where they zoom in on like the edge of the chassis, and they have that like metal details around the outside. It really reminds me of my favorite smartphone ever, which is the iPhone 4S.
It looks like a cross between a phone and a Vita.
Yeah,
it really does.
It does, and also
it is a beautiful handheld for sure.
It really is. Yeah,
iPhone 4S is one of the classics. It's probably also one of my favorites. Just nice little sleek device. Russ reviewed this recently, prototype anyways, and the prototype needed some love, but he came away, it's good performance, but it's just, again, Ayaneo needs some practice with their Android software, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done with it after all this time. That Pocket Air was buggy. It still is a bit buggy, so.
The sticks are the biggest miss for me on this.
Have they been rolling out updates to the Android ISpace app on a regular basis?
Not on a regular basis.
Has it improved at all since launched? I don't have the Pocket Air, so I don't know.
Yeah, it has had improvements. And actually, I know I'm sounding maybe coming off negative on this device, on these devices, but it's still probably my favorite of the, what do you call it? The RG556 RP4 Pocket Air trio fight. I think the Pocket Air is still my favorite of those three. I don't know why. It just hits the right notes for me, and I'm okay with with some of the bugs. But on this one, the Pocket S, it just looks so sleek, and it looks so. And you can get the ergo grip for it, which takes care of the comfort factor, and you can get a magnetic version if you like magnets like me, and that's your favorite hobby. You can get that for $30. Throw that on, and if you get this in this first week, Arthur was saying that you get a free gift bag of a free ergo grip, screen protector, I think stickers. I want to say there's a few things in there. Take a look at their Indiegogo in our description, but. It's interesting, and it's just at a very, very premium price point, and it's not necessary.
My problem with it is that you end up getting slightly more performance, but you're really not going to see a difference because there's really nothing taking advantage of it. You get worse sticks, and you get a smaller battery.
Yeah.
So it looks very pretty. It's a great looking handheld, but with something that powerful, I wish they would have gone with something that isn't a Switch stick, because that's just... It's not a great experience when you're playing even like the more demanding mobile games like Warzone or Call of Duty. Those Switch sticks are not good for that game. Like the reason the Switch can kind of get away with those sticks is because of the implemented gyro for any game that actually needs aiming. I don't think we're going to get good gyro on anything like this. So it's a big miss.
The only reason
doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of people.
I wasn't even necessarily going to cover this or make a video about it. I just personally wanted it in comparison to the Odin 2 because of its weight, because it's lighter weight. The Odin 2, I love it for all of the reasons we've already stated, but it's just a little heavy for me. If I had one OCD thing about it, which really didn't go into my review about it, it's just that for me personally, after months of using it, it's just a little bit heavy when I even compared to a Steam Deck for me with the way it's balanced. So I'm wondering if this one will feel a little bit better weighted, and that might dethrone the Odin 2 for me, but
you are going to lose on a lot of battery. That's kind of the only problem with it. So
it's a big trade-off in battery.
We don't really know how the what is it, the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 is for battery efficiency yet, right? Like there's not that many tests out there. And I mean, just look at like the Steam Deck, you know, running at lower wattages and trying to get the most out of my battery is like that the game that I play on the Steam Deck. That's the meta game. So there's a chance that, you know, this could beat the Odin in the big picture based on how you actually use it. And we don't know that yet, right? Like there's hardly any benchmarks for that chip out there.
That's true.
Yeah, and the exact chip in this is the Gen 3 of the G3X. Is that right, Rob?
Gen 2.
Yeah,
Gen 2 G3X. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
What's that based off of though? Because you remember the last one was based off the 888.
Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
It's based off the 8 Gen 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since it's based off the same chip that the Odin's running, I don't know how much they could really optimize it to make up for 2000 milliamp battery. Maybe it'll come close, and if it comes close, that's awesome.
Well, people are saying that
I definitely agree with the top end. The problem is there's not much of a top end on Android. I mean, do we really need all that power? That's the thing. So
no, we do not. There's no, like, what are you doing with it? You know,
exactly.
You're gonna get a few more frames in Genshin Impact. Wow.
Maybe a year from now, when Windows emulation gets a little bit better, it might make sense. But right now, no, because there is some cool stuff happening on that side of things. Where getting bigger AAA games are working on Android, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah, the only benchmark that I could find was an Antutu 10 benchmark, and it did like 3% better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it wasn't even in this specific device. So who knows how this will be? But they're basically the same, right? But it could be a more like it is a newer chip, so it could be more efficient. We'll see.
Yeah. It might just be like the Z1 Extreme to the 7840U, that optimizations were like on the lower TDP range, and they just got rid of some stuff that we don't really need for a gaming handheld. That's what I think this is going to be, but it's just speculation, so we won't really know, like you guys are saying, until we actually get hands-on with it.
Yeah, and we've seen this situation before with Qualcomm, and the Razer Edge would be the best example of that with the Gen 1 of this chip. So, you know, I don't I don't think we're going to see too much of a difference here in terms of real world performance, honestly. So
yeah,
the nice fingerprints on it.
Yeah, the Gen 1 was really solid too. To this day I'm still enjoying the Razer Edge. I'm coming back and revisiting the Razer Edge. Let me say after the Kishi Ultra video, I'm like really enjoying just Call of Duty Warzone. Honestly, that's a lot of what I'm
Steam
playing.
Deck, bro.
One little ray of hope I saw was that if you look at Qualcomm's website for this chip, they're bragging about how much faster it is over sustained usage. It throttles a lot later, so you could get more performance. But like Rob said, like where's that? What do you need that performance for? Yeah. What even is pushing your device that hard?
It says a lot when we're still using Genshin Impact as a game to benchmark performance
years later.
The nerd side of me gets excited to see stuff like that. Like I want to see the video that does the head-to-head comparison and like the actual power use, throttling and all of that. But for the average user, it's just going to come down to aesthetics. Like, are you willing to pay the extra money for something that's going to look nicer, but in my opinion, is going to control a little bit worse? Or do you just want to go for bang for buck?
There's one miss here with this device, and it's the fact that it doesn't have any kind of LTE or 5G support.
Yeah.
And it actually is a device that looks most like a phone, and yet it can't function as one. So
yeah, that would have been
kind of an interesting choice there. Whereas you had something like the GBD XP and XP Plus that you could use as a phone, except no one would want to use that as a phone. So it's just, I don't understand the design choices sometimes. And again, with Ayaneo, I think a lot of their devices are just so niche that for most people, no one's going to really pay any attention to them.
Yeah.
They always make these beautiful devices that have like one thing wrong with them. And it never misses. Even the last one. Well, actually, no, the Pocketer didn't have that much wrong with it. It was just a victim of the price in the Odin 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just bad timing. It was really just bad timing for them.
We just need Switch emulation to start picking up pace again, and that's when we're going to really use those new fast performance processors. Can you guys hear dogs barking outside or making love outside my window?
Yes.
It's pretty quiet, but I can hear
them. You said that, I could hear some dogs barking.
I wasn't sure if it was me or Aish's huskies next door.
No, it's the huskies been quiet.
Why do you?
I've been dealing with some pigeons that like I'll be recording voiceover and they're just two pigeons just making sweet pigeon love outside my window.
Pigeons?
Yeah, I had to go and throw water at them. Like, dude, go away. And they haven't been back in like 2 days now, but I've seen them around. Like,
man.
Are the pigeons you have down there the same pigeons we have here in Canada? That's what I want to know.
I think your pigeons actually come down and visit us in Arizona. So
I think
we're sending them back though.
Yeah, just more aggressive version of your pigeons.
Well, we could talk about pigeons all day, or we could talk about the MinUI coming to the 28XX. That's right. It's on there now, and Sean Inman released a early build today. Jill Animal was quick to toss that on his 28XX and write us a little how-to guide here. So if you want to install it, visit our website, retrohandhelds.gg. You know where to find us, all the good places. And I have my video on my 28XX, Lavender here, will be about MinUI as well. So I'm going to show that and talk about that. And MinUI is a nice minimalistic operating system. If you've used it on other handhelds, it's just text-based, very simple, and it just works. So I can't wait to try this out. How about you all?
Is there any DS emulation on MinUI? I'm asking. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Let me confirm. I don't believe so.
Because that's what
there is on Miyoo OS.
Miyoo OS, yes.
That's what I'm actually waiting for. One of these custom firmware. Sorry, Stubbs, didn't mean to cut you off. It's just
how dare you
to bring those emulators.
Very excited.
Yeah, for PSP, I don't really care. I don't really want to play PSP on a 2.8-inch screen. But DS on something this side would be pretty cool for like Pokemon games or RPGs. Just be able to load them up and play them, because this is plenty powerful to do it. It's just not there because, and my guess is the screen rotation issue that Emmerich had to remove it. But having that in here would be really cool, because this would be a great way to just pull that out and play some Pokemon Heart Gold or Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Lots of DS games play great even without the touch screen and the flipping those screens around. It's kind of like that generation of retro games that was between, you know, the 2D and the 3D, and there was so many 2D games released that that didn't even need like the dual screens or the flipping back and forth or the touchscreen stuff.
Like the Dragon Quest games, like the top screen just kind of extends the map a little bit, but you can totally get away with not playing on that. I remember I did Dragon Quest 4 on the Retro Pocket 2, and I never used the other screen.
Yeah. My favorite DS game is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance A2 Grimoire of the Rift, and
Perfect.
which is the longest game name ever, and that plays totally fine without any touchscreen. I've said that so many times in my life; it's kind of embarrassing.
Well,
I love it.
There's 2 other custom firmwares as well coming. They're not quite ready yet, but Miyoo OS, of course, and also Newly we talked about last week. Right. So those are both on the way, right? And which is Batacera, and so devs have already shown off them in action. They should be here any day now. And For the Next is saying DS is a Miyoo OS. I have a video on it, so check out For the Next YouTube for that. And also, I'm sure our friend Mr. TechDweeb has content as well. So stay tuned on Dweeb's channel.
Yeah, I got one on the way, and I'm excited. I'm actually excited to play with the stock firmware because I've heard there's been lots of improvements since
solid,
I haven't played with the stock firmware since I made the Kariki video on the 35XXH. So nice. I think lots of people are saying they like the stock now. I was checking. I was creeping through the Reddit before the show, and people are loving the stock. So yeah, we'll see. I love emulation. I love Emulation Station, but if the stock has all the conveniences and faster booting and the quick shutdown and startup and stuff like that, then I don't mind. I don't mind sticking with the stock as long as it works good, and as long as you can customize the way it looks. That's very important for me.
Yeah, nope. I think those are both important points. And I think you'll like stock on here. I think it's been pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Captain Skyhawk for NES still. I'm at the end of the game finally. And surprisingly, I'm not cramping up too bad. My hands do cramp with this. Don't get me wrong. It's very small. But if you kind of claw grip it like that.
I hold it like.
Or like this even. No. I kind of do like that.
What I do with it is actually I put my hands behind it. Because the
shoulder blades likes getting his hands
like you're offering up a grail or something.
Because that's why they put the shoulder blades behind it. Like if you hold it like this, and you have access to them, and your hands aren't going to cramp. Because I've done like longer play sessions on this.
The claw grip can definitely.
Yeah, the claw grip is kind of annoying where you have to hold it like this. But
it just depends.
If you do that, like I think this is the way they wanted you to hold it because they purposely put them only on the back.
Yeah, if you lotion up your hands first, kind of get them better, a little bit more softer, then it should. Actually, you're going to slip off. Then don't do that. That was a joke.
Not to spoil the videos though, but what I've been amazed with the most is the battery life on this thing.
Not me.
I did a full blown battery test on it.
The battery life is kind of crazy on this thing.
I mean, it's good for this form factor, but the standby time is the killer. You notice that where it's draining?
Oh yeah,
you have to turn it.
It's not truly in standby. That's
there's no real standby. It turns the screen off, but there is that quick shutdown.
And the volume turns the volume off too.
If you go into the RetroArch app settings, there's a quick shutdown option that you just tap it. It's going to turn it off, and then when you boot it back on, it'll take about 16 seconds. It'll bring you right back into the game.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's
so you can just do that because the sleep function doesn't sleep, and this isn't the only handheld that has that issue. There's a lot of like Linux based handhelds that just don't have good sleep function. So you turn it off and it's just the screen off. Like everything's still running.
Well, I guess the Fox got 9 hours and 15 minutes for PS1. So yeah, the battery life is awesome for some of these lower end systems. And
I got around 10 hours on Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really nice. But I keep forgetting. I keep putting it to sleep, thinking it's a 35XX, and then walking away for maybe a day. And I come back.
I did that last night, actually. I was trying to record footage.
50% overnight. That's the only thing.
I'm spoiled by the main handheld I've been playing on the most is actually the G Cloud, which is kind of it's surprising to me. But the main reason I've been playing so much of it is because it's my beside the bed device, and I never turn it off. I just pop it to sleep when I go to bed, and it's on all day, and then I come back the next day and I'll play for an hour or whatever, and then come back the next day, play for an hour, and it just lasts days and days and days. Like the sleep on Android is so good, and the battery is so big and it uses so little battery that it's just that's the reason that I play so much of it, is because it's so good on the battery, and it's just
the G Cloud.
Here's an G Cloud is awesome. I actually turned it back on for the first time in like about 2 months, and it had a full charge.
I had to let go of mine to fund the Steam OLED, which I don't regret, but I do miss the G Cloud. That was a really good handheld.
It was, it's super good. I had to get one back eventually. Good question here in the comments as well. Due to rotated screen, do any of you notice a difference in brightness between the left and right eyes? No, I wouldn't say so.
No, I'd say it's also not. It's not the brightest screen that I've used though. But
you might want to talk to a doctor.
No, not really.
Talk to a doctor. But I did use it outside. So did Zoo, and I noticed you can still see it.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's definitely dim, like you're looking at a Game Boy Advance screen or something like that. But it's interesting. So more to come on custom firmware. We'll let you all know how that's progressing. But try out MinUI. So we have a link in our sources in the description, and of course, read the how-to article on our website. And try MinUI. Let us know what you think about it on here. This is again the initial release, so stay tuned for the GitHub page there in the article to find out when the updates are happening. And you know what? Speaking of tinies, let's have a quick little discussion, if you all don't mind, about the Miyoo A30.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Are you sure I can't entice you to play Dungeons and Dragons instead?
That you might be able to entice me, maybe, but
I was curious to see where Stubbs was going with that statement about many things.
I don't want to hate on the A30. I haven't touched it yet, so I can't hate on it. But I'm not excited.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people saw Russ's coverage, and were not so excited. And then there's the discovery that they had by default turned shaders or filters on, like a 2x free shader or something, on which tanks performance on SNES and other systems. So turns out disabling that actually fixes a lot of performance issues for that. So having said that, what do we all think of the A30, knowing that performance, is going to be on par with what we were thinking originally? I mean, does that move the needle for anybody? Does anyone want this now, or are they still kind of like, nah, it's not as powerful as the 28XX? I'm going to go with that.
I was never overly excited about it because I have this guy, and it was never really that great to begin with. So this feels like an iteration of that, and I'm not all that surprised that it turned out the way it did.
Yeah. I like that they have bigger buttons, and I've always loved the D-pad on the Miyoo Mini, but apparently it feels different. It doesn't feel the same as the Miyoo Mini D-pad. So not super excited about this one, honestly. It's a little more expensive and less performance. So
it feels like such a different device than the Miyoo Mini and the Miyoo Mini Plus. Like if this came out from some company that wasn't Miyoo, just some other random company, would we even be talking about it right now? It would have probably just flown under the radar, just been like, whatever, it's a weird handheld, looks like that.
I mean, you'll probably see a game console version in a month or two.
Yeah. I mean,
one thing I think it was actually Russ who said this in one of the Reddit threads that I saw today. He said that the silver lining is that Miyoo has been known to improve the things that are wrong with their devices.
Yes.
The Mini V1 is a very different feeling device from the V3 and the V4. They fixed the buttons, they fixed the firmware, they fixed the screen, they fixed the software. So yeah, maybe there's hope. But
it's interesting though, because it feels like the device has been in development for so long, and I think I've heard some rumors that this was something that was supposed to come out a while ago, and it never actually released.
Yeah, we didn't expect it. We didn't expect it to come.
That's one of the things that kind of frustrated me about this device is for a company that's so successful and releases so few devices, you would think that this would have come out better. Like they have experience in making these. Like they're as good as both the Miyoo Mini and the Miyoo Mini Plus were, and them knowing that Onion OS is kind of the whole thing that made it so successful, you would think they would have been better prepared and teamed up with the Onion team a little bit better to have this ready to go out of the gate instead of coming out with a product that isn't really better. And like TechDweeb said, yes, there's multiple revisions, B1, B2, V3, but then if you're one of the early adopters, you're kind of screwed with a device that isn't going to be as good. And then why would you buy
P60
V2?
would have been nice. That would have been nice to drop.
Yeah. And then why would you buy the V2 if you know the V3 is probably going to be the one to get? So they just kind of do this to themselves, unfortunately.
We'll see.
I can't see this product doing things for their brand image because they were always kind of a janky brand to begin with.
So true. I think people forget how janky they were before the Miyoo Mini dropped.
Yeah.
Well, even the Mini, you guys remember when the Mini came out, like people just thought it was going to be like dead on arrival. Like, okay, that's cute, but whatever. Nobody really cared about it until they got Onion.
Yeah, I think, what was it, Russ's video, or maybe it was Taki's? The video was called "It's Finally Good Now" when the Onion came out, because it wasn't before that. Like the stock firmware, it kind of just blah.
Yeah, this was like a $30 device, I think, when it first came out. It was around that price because there just wasn't a lot of hype for it. Then we got Onion and it just blew up. So yeah, that's the frustrating thing with them. It's like you guys had a winner here, and you know exactly what made it a winner too. It's not like you have to guess.
No, I don't think they do. That's the problem.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe it was like maybe they're a one-hit wonder.
Maybe
we'll see. We'll see. I'm still kind of excited for it. It's I have one incoming. Russ's review definitely put me off on it at first as well, and then when we found out the new news, he's coming around to it, I think, but he still feels how he felt in the review. Like this is not a Miyoo Mini sort of feeling. This is not like that love yet, but maybe Onion will get there and it'll bring us to the promised land, and Miyoo A30s will be all the rage. I don't know. But what I do know is there is a new SKU of Stubbs nubs coming soon for Steam Deck sizing. I got the new box here from the 3D Printed Studio. It came with this fun little fidget gadget toy. But Norm, it turns out these buttons don't quite fit the Steam Deck, so we'll have to resize a little bit to prototype more. But they're really cool looking. I like this copper. That's a tangent. Cool. Sorry, everybody. I had a tangent.
Stubbs, I just realized I never formally apologized. You sent me some Stubbs nubs. I recorded a review, and I didn't get the audio. I had the audio turned off. I screwed up the recording of my review, and I was so disheartened that I never redid the audio. The ones you sent me were so painful. They hurt me so much.
They were.
Oh yeah. They were the. I think you sent me the two like pointy ones.
Good. So you got to kind of try it, and
they were super hard.
How's your pancreas?
They did wonders for my pancreas. Like you got to take the bitter with the sweet. Yeah, that's the one. That's one of them.
Spiky.
And then the other one with the big spike.
Oh, you got the ring. That's discontinued now after the incident.
Oh dear. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's pretty painful, but I mean, if it's for the health of your pancreas, like you got to can't make an omelet without breaking some legs.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, the pancreas does a lot for you. It really helps out in a lot of ways. And I am not a doctor. Don't buy these to actually benefit your health. Buy them because you want superior gaming control over your gaming.
Oh,
having a healthy pancreas. What's that?
Is that the Bmo Mini?
Oh yeah, it's my Bmo Mini. Yeah.
I love that video. So you got Lit Next to collab on this one, right?
Yeah, they contacted me out of the blue and they said they were doing Miyoo Mini buttons, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Interesting, because I had contacted Sakura Retro Modding, and there was one other person who makes the custom buttons, and neither of them neither of them wanted to make me like D-pad. I mean, it's a pain in the butt. Like it's 4 different color buttons
and a yellow. That turned out.
Oh, it's so cool, eh?
Wait, let me see that. Can we get an even closer B-roll shot there? That is just, can we do like a panning by the camera? Just, yeah. Oh, that's doing it for me. What about the back?
I haven't done the back. So there's potential here to make it even more Bmo-ish if I printed a little Bmo, because Bmo has a trap door on her back.
We love the backs around here.
On his back. And there's like a little grill there. So if
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want that. I want to. Can you send that to me after? Can you send it maybe to?
You don't have to thread me.
Oh.
What's cool about them? They have like the color deep within the button, and the top is just a transparent layer. So it actually has like a jeweled look to it. And they look great.
This is the little computer guy from Adventure Time, right? The Bmo?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet. I said in the video that like he's not just my favorite character, but I feel like he represents our hobby because he's like a retro handheld character. Like so he's cute. He's like half of a handheld, half of a computer, and he's the video game presence in the Adventure Time world. So yeah.
Good old Bmo.
Could be our mascot.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. I already have a blue Miyoo Mini that I could mod. I just have to go find some of those buttons. So I'll have to watch your video to find out how.
Yeah, well, they just sell them through their site, and yeah, when they contacted me, they were like, you want some buttons, and I was like, okay, this is what I want. I want a yellow D-pad and a red and a light blue and a light green and a dark blue. And they were like, well, can you send a photo? And so I sent a photo of Bmo, and they didn't respond. And I was like, okay, they just are like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's being weird.
We're all weirdos around here. We're all weirdos around here. We embrace the weird. Sean Moore, yes, you guys legit get aroused by Sakura buttons and D-pads.
Yeah, well, I have Sakura on most of my other Miyoo Minis, but this one needed more customization.
Well, so let me just wrap this segment up by saying I don't think the Miyoo A30 is all bad, and I'm still excited for it. So I'll say that. Any other last minute rants on that one before we talk about another tiny?
Nope.
Get a 20.
It doesn't excite me because it's candy bar style, and I tend not to like those as much. I know lots of people love them. I'm always more of a vertical kind of guy, and I don't like the analog stick. I don't need an analog stick on a device I'm playing Game Boy Advance on or whatever. So it's and I don't love the look of it. I don't feel like some of the models are okay, but it goes for a certain nostalgia that I just don't really have. I like the Game Boy nostalgia better, so that's why it does excite me. But like the best part of this hobby is that there's so many choices, and we can all pick what we like the best.
Absolutely, and it is a little underpowered still, even though it's better now. But the face buttons are nice and big, which I like, and I'm okay having a joystick as an option. So, and the other thing is if you want one, Go Game Geek is now taking orders. So if you want to pick one up, they'll sell it for just a few dollars below retail if you use our code RH15. There's my shill for them. And that's, of course, in our description as well. But we have not reviewed it yet, so we don't have any recommendations yet. It could be easily horrible. So we'll see. But in the meantime, let's talk about another one. MagicX XUMini M, which I'm not sure if it's pronounced, and it's all scrunched together on purpose. So I think it's supposed to be the MagicX XUMini M. So I'm going to call it the XUMini M. And so the MagicX XUMini M.
That checks out.
Sounds like Johnny Ive from Apple.
I know.
Aluminium.
It sounds like a character's name from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, not the Dungeons and Dragons again.
I just say it sounds like a D&D thing.
So many.
Yeah.
Fair. For the XUMini M.
Yeah, I like that. It's the XUMini.
We have an article up on our
just
site.
Keeps churning these out.
He does. I know. Come on, Zoo. So Sean from MagicX released specs in the last week or so and said, hey, it's another 2.8-inch screen, 640 by 480. It'll play up to, what was it, N64 and PSP Dreamcast, right? And dual speakers left and right. We have 8 to 10 hours of standby. And Hall effect joysticks. So that is great to see. Not only that, but if we scroll down, there's some new pictures.
Is this the one with the RK3562 chip?
Yeah, that's the one.
We found out the chip news is what's new. The 3562, which we found out is a little bit more performant than the 3566. Was that right, Aish?
Slightly better single core, slightly worse multi-core is what I was able to find on it.
So slightly better for emulation then, probably.
Yep. About the same as far as efficiency and all that. So it's by all like applicable things, it's just the 3566.
I'm actually pretty excited about this one. I can't believe I'm saying this,
I like the colorways. You really?
Oh wait, those are Retroid
about
tweaks.
This one. Yeah,
look at that! Cool. Look at that! Retroid sticks. No switch sticks.
Retroid sticks.
Yeah.
Sticks. It's hilarious because they're coming in and they're kind of doing things better potentially than Ambernick and Miyoo here with just
it's pretty cool.
The look of it, the face button's actually being a regular size, and
it's a bigger screen. It looks like
power here, So
yeah,
I think it's 2.8 inches.
And the dev's been super interactive in the community, which has been nice, just getting feedback. And yeah, it's 2.8 inches, 640 by 480 screen, 1 gigabyte of DDR4 RAM. Again, those Hall effect joysticks and a 2600 milliamp hour battery, which lasts you up to 10 hours. And then a on-the-go USB port. And this is going to be priced at around $50. So that is the right price point. That means all three of these that are in competition are basically all the same price. So this is a very serious contender. And the fact that the XU10, the previous model, is not all that bad, especially with custom firmware. This one's really shaping up. It could come in clutch here with, I don't know.
Is there any word on firmware compatibility with this chip?
That will be some time coming. Yeah, not off the bat. It's a new chip. It's going to take some time. So you're going to be with stock at the moment, which if it stocks anything like the last one, then it'll be a bit locked down. But I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's open.
Because the silver lining to yet another RK3566 is that it's yet another device that we know how it works and we can have some firmware on.
Right?
Yeah. That's actually the thing that I found a little disappointing with it, because the chip is on paper basically the same thing. Why not just go for a chip that already has support? Unless you really want people to use your OS on it, which I guess could make sense if they're trying to tailor the experience to this device specifically. But for a lot of us, like, we just want to go with something we already know, just in a new form factor.
Well, that's what they did with the XU10. They wanted you to use their software there. It wasn't open source, so.
Yep. Yeah, that's my issue.
I wonder if this is the same screen that that Ambernick is using.
They might all be using the same screen, which is not a bad screen. It's like you guys said earlier, it doesn't get as bright as others, but it wasn't too dim to play outdoors. It looks good and it's nice and sharp. Like compared to like the old screens we got on these small devices, the 2.8 inches, this is a really good screen.
Compared to like the 280M, I mean, it is noticeable having that double the resolution there.
280V.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me see that again.
You can definitely notice it.
What you got there?
There you go.
Oh, what buttons do you have in there?
I got this from you a long time ago, so
he doesn't recognize his old device.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know where these buttons are from, but they're really good buttons.
Those are Sakura buttons.
Okay, that makes sense.
Did you go for the Super Famicom look there?
Yeah.
Like, does it have the sticker on there too?
No.
I can't tell.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, it has a sticker on it. I don't know why my
that was a
camera's
nice
not
build. I
focusing
miss
in
it.
on it, but
I miss it. You want to send that back to me? That looks nice.
I like it.
Okay, you keep it.
This is actually really like. So one of the things with this little guy that I was thinking about is like comfort wise, but then I picked this back up and I remembered how much I like this just because your hands just naturally sit where everything is. D-pad's nice and big buttons. Unfortunately, the performance just isn't there with what we're getting used to nowadays. But
yeah,
I was always surprised the Mini overshadowed this that much, because it's a really good small handheld, and it's built like a brick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I know.
I like this guy though.
It's one of Russ's favorites.
The reason I gravitated to the Mini, like when the Mini came out over that, is the resolution is just so unoptimal for Game Boy Advance, because that's what that one's 320 by 240, right?
Yeah,
that's just a terrible GBA scaling on that. Yeah,
I turned it back on and I was like, oh, this is definitely a difference coming from the RG28XX.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine for lots of retro systems, but Game Boy Advance is my favorite system to emulate, and it does not look good on there.
No, it doesn't. That's kind of the only
even like the upscaling that we get with like PlayStation 1 and stuff like that. I mean, like you definitely notice it.
Yeah.
Well,
but back then,
it was awesome.
Throw this in your pocket, and it wouldn't break like the Mini. Like the Mini, at least the first couple of versions, the screen was super sensitive. I remember I have another one of them that's broken because I dropped it from about this height onto a desk mat, and it broke the screen.
Oh no!
That's what I like about the 28XX right now, is that like I actually threw it in my pocket walking around the house, and I'm like, it's becoming that kind of pocketable device that I don't care about.
See, now you can do a drop test because you get two of them.
See,
how
Rob,
high can you drop it without breaking?
No, the second one is spoken for. It's being traded potentially for a A30.
You would be the only one to make that review. The height test.
Now, you boys need to calm down over there. You're getting too excited. If you guys want to hear about a few more things about this, because it's not all, I guess, rainbows and sunshines with it. So there are a few things I wanted to call out that it's going to be lacking for you if you wanted this compared to like maybe an A30. It's not going to have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, which is much like the 28XX. But they're using that USB port, so you can plug in a Wi-Fi adapter. So that should still work. Also, as far as release date goes, it should be sometime in May. We'll see this, so probably through Powkitty again. So just stay on the lookout for that. And beyond that, we'll kind of be tentatively hyped on this one. Oh, it's time for, what do you got there, Dweeb? You got some root beer? Time for some A&W?
Oh, yeah. That's my thing. I'm feeling a little parched, so I've taken a little sip of some root beer.
That diet A&W.
Soda prices are out of control, guys. What's happening?
They are.
Oh yeah, they're like twice the price they were like 3 years ago. Yeah. Twice the price where I live.
I almost fainted when I saw a case of Coca-Cola was $10.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's how they get you. They slowly raise the price over time, just like Netflix. You know, they get you hooked.
Oh, I don't know if this was so sudden. I mean, so slow. It's more sudden, to be honest.
And then then that, what else are you going to drink? Water?
Yeah, water right here.
Thanks. That's how they get you.
Make it rust.
Can you hold the can up a little bit closer so that Stubbs can read it off to us?
Well, I don't want to tilt it too much because I don't want to get root beer on my D&D stuff, because I thought we were playing D&D.
It's written in French on the can. Let's go.
He's getting really good at it.
Deity?
Yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly right.
Deity, is that right? Diet in French, is that right? Clef, am I close? Diet. You're talking to the wrong Canadian. I don't speak any of the French stuff. All right, well, very well.
I took it in school. They taught us how. I just forget it all.
I love how you said that like a Canadian Texan. I don't speak any of the French stuff.
I don't know that French stuff.
TechDweeb, you're the great A&W deity. I think that's of the scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Or shill, depending on who you listen to.
I'll not live that down soon, and neither will you.
You know what's funny? I actually reached out to A&W about a sponsorship just because I thought it would be funny, and I worked really hard on making some really professional emails and stuff. And they just said no, we're not interested in sponsoring a YouTube channel. And I was I wanted that more than any other.
A YouTube channel, as if YouTube channels are just sub.
Yeah, it was something like it's YouTube promotion is not a priority for us right now. But they asked for my priority. They asked for my
priority.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they asked for my my YouTube channel before they said that, so it's sort of like, you know, when you're talking
you're like Mr. Beast or something.
when you're talking to a girl online and she's like, send me a picture, and then you send her a picture and she's like, I'm not interested in a relationship.
Actually, I only date aliens.
What are we talking about?
I don't know, man. But it's all.
What's this about dating alien Stubbs?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know where the analogy was going.
You're just the tentacles and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's you, man. That's your videos lately. You got all the. You got your video got taken down because you put a big. You put a big tentacle right in the middle of your thumbnail, and YouTube thought it was porn and said and had to protect the children and turned off your comment section. So I just.
How dare you, Rob?
Rob, how? Why?
Know.
Your entire focus.
Don't put those on your thumbnails.
Don't do it. YouTube doesn't like it. But you know, anyways, we gotta get sponsorships going with Mentos. So that's our thing. Okay, enough about this. All these shenanigans. There's a new one. Are you ready for this? This may or may not be e-waste. We'll see. But SJGam is back at it again.
Oh, that's e-waste.
Now hold on.
That is so awkward looking.
Monster.
Yeah,
now hold on. SJGam, they brought us the beloved M17 for cheap on the cheap, and then they got us, of course, the M18 R43 Pro, and now they're back at it. As of today, this is coming. You can buy it right now if you really want, but we don't recommend it because for one,
look at the back on that thing. What the?
It's very uncomfortable on the back shoulder buttons. That can't be right. I don't know what that's about. One joystick, which might be okay. It's up top, and it looks very tiny. It might be very small. We don't know the chipset. It's if you go to the link, I think the specification said it just has mini. So it's just specification performance says mini. We know it's mini.
Core A55 1.8 gigahertz. That's usually a 3566.
That sounds like a 3566.
Yeah, it sounds like a 3566.
Really? Well, that's not a bad price for a 3566. If it was a 3326.
Yeah, the problem is you have to deal with the package it comes in.
Well, it's not from
that thing. That's e-waste if I've ever seen e-waste.
It's not from a reputable seller yet. There's 3 shops that have it. All of them are highly rated, but they're not like choice or 4-star shops with a bunch of orders yet. So I would wait for a YouTuber who is silly enough to order this right now. Probably me, or I'm guessing Dead Fred, or I'm guessing I don't know.
I'm guessing Stubbs.
Rob. One of us will end up buying this, and we'll let you know if it's weird or not. But I mean, knowing SJGam released their last 2 and they at least worked and were functional, and people are pretty happy with the M17 with custom firmware loaded on there. This might be cool. The price might be right. 3,000 milliamp hour battery.
Thick.
Look at where the back buttons are placed. They're not. They're like lower. Yeah, like there's the bump where they should be, and then they go down, and then there they are.
Yeah, I didn't know. I saw this before we went live, and I didn't notice the backside on that until right now. And I'm like, what is happening?
You're the one who brought me this news today, Rob. Well, Steven on Twitter did, but
of the back, it just didn't grab my attention.
I like the colorway option. I like the black with the Skittle buttons. That's kind of cool looking. I don't know. I'm not tossing this out yet.
It'll probably feel like the original Miyoo Mini, where the buttons are flat and you push them like in.
You guys see where
the device
is?
Just get one of these.
Where's the volume on the back? Oh, that's a first.
Just get one of these.
Oh,
that's it.
Interesting.
What's Aish? What are you holding up?
Just get one of these.
Aish is holding up, for those listening at home, he's holding up a 353V.
Yeah.
And it looks nice.
How good it still is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it feels like everybody forgot about this one because we started getting a bunch of other vertical handhelds, but we already have a really good one in the 353V or the VS.
Oh yeah,
you want
no, the 353V is like the gold standard for this thing.
Yeah,
really, we're just waiting for like a cheap version, like a company like this to do a good cheap one. Yeah, almost.
And the orange. They have it in orange, man.
They did. None of the sellers who make the orange one would deliver the orange one to Canada. I couldn't get it. I tried. You know I tried.
I'll get an orange and forward it to you if you want.
Well, I mean, the moment has passed, and I already have the black one, and I reviewed it.
I
should have done that before I reviewed it, but yeah, I just went for the black because I couldn't find the orange. But yeah,
I forgot how much I put into this thing. I have the better buttons in the back. I have some glossy buttons in the front. A nice sticker. I'm gonna start using this thing again.
Okay, fair, good.
Yeah, I got this game.
Wait, Dan says he wants to know how many games are on it.
I don't see anything in the specs. Where'd you see this?
40,000. I don't know.
Games type is mini. Games included is mini. It says in the spec.
I like this too. It's got an anti-skid design. That's good.
And no, it got an Andant skid design. Andantis kid.
Design.
An Andantis kid.
Some IKEA product at first. I had to do another look at it.
You ever met an Andantis kid? They're a little different than a regular kid.
Well, they're usually not sensitive enough, so it's good that this one's high sensitivity.
It's true.
Exactly. Just don't yell at it.
It does have 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 3.5 screen, 640 by 480. Okay, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
See what happens.
It looks like a tiny.
And that HD screen at 680 by 480. 640 by 480.
IPS.
It's more smooth and ready to play.
Mm-hmm. And no skids.
Well, that's good news.
So if you are interested in this, don't buy this. It is for $51 plus $3 shipping. So it's
because these are renders, you know that bezel around the screen is thick. It's not gonna look like this at all.
It'll be
there's an angle of it of
like that back.
Yeah, right here. That's giving off real thick vibes to me, at least. Just looking at it over here.
Yeah, I saw you get sweaty as soon as you saw that part. Like you got really excited.
That caught my attention. I mean, that was.
I could tell.
Yeah, you're very, very excited about that.
Looks like a rapper's girlfriend.
Well, we're done with the news pretty much, but we have one more thing we're gonna do. If you were interested in the R35S from SJGam, which is not made by Games Console, it's confusingly, we talked about this before, it's an entirely different thing. This finally showed up, so I figured I'd do a quick hands-on, just spend a minute on it and show you where I'm at with this right now. But this was another, supposedly, it was a 3326 for $33 and similar to the Doot. But in reality, I'll show you what we got here.
I love the fonts. I can't get enough of the font.
Yeah, and so it confuses you because it says Games Console, right? But no, it says Games Good Console. And it's actually it's not the brand name, but they do have orange. So TechDweeb should be happy about that.
Yeah.
I love how they're ripping off the name of a company that's already cloning other handhelds. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
and
like a photocopy of a photocopy.
The purple is cool.
D-pad.
There it is. SJGam. Says it right there, not Games Console Good, so they just gave themselves away. There's some fairly not too loud clicky, and the plastic feels good. It's a very nice anti-slicky, matte plastic.
Kind of look how the plastic looks. I kind of like it.
The plastic's very nice. D-pad is nice. Face buttons are classic SJGam Doot fashion face buttons.
The D-pad is.
The screen looks dirty because there's a thing on here. I'll probably save it. I'll actually screw it.
I'm glad Michael caught that.
But these are not clickable L3 and R3, and they stick out above the shell, so they're not recessed really at all.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it. I can't.
And except for this stick clicks in a little bit, but it's just it going into the shell slightly, which is problematic. It needs a screw to hold it properly in place. It feels like it's going to fall into the shell if I were to push too hard. So that's not
R3,
good.
no, it's just breaking.
Yeah, there's no clickable. And it turns out, so it says right on the box
the logo they got going though. That's pretty slick.
They ripped off the switch.
Cool. It says right on the spec sheet that it has a 3326 gigahertz. CPU is a RK 3326 gigahertz.
Nice. That's a lot of gigahertz.
That is a lot of gigahertz.
I immediately questioned whether it had a 3326 because I'm just playing some light PS1. So it has, your usual lockdown SC Dyer menu. It's Android running on here in the background, but I'm just running PS1 and it's running at about 20 to 22 frames per second. And I said, what's going on here? So I went and talked in Discord, and Dead Fred actually was like, hey, my box says it's some other chip, some way worse chip. And I mean, it runs okay. It's hard to maybe tell when you're playing it here, but it's very having a hard time playing PS1. And so it's not a 3326. It's totally a lesser chip. I need to look up, or if anyone in live chat remembers what the exact chip is. But it's less than a 3326, and it kind of sucks. And we don't know really what it can do yet. But with custom firmware, it might be okay still. So I'm not going to throw it out yet, but it's not my favorite, and I was pretty disappointed by that.
How much was that?
$33. The screen looks...
That's pretty darn cheap, though.
It is pretty cheap, and the screen's not too bad.
You can overlook a lot of things.
It's got Baldur's Gate 3 on it. Wow.
Baldur's Gate 3. But it is locked down, It really will need a custom firmware to unlock its awesomeness. It has a bilinear filter turned on, so nothing's super sharp. But it's...
You know what the only good thing about these consoles are now is that we're finally getting rid of Famiclones. Like, these are the new Famiclones.
Yeah, the Famiclones are like $5.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's... I don't know. We'll see. I need to evaluate it more, but I was very disappointed that the sticks weren't clickable and that they stick out, because this could have been a nice pocketable device, but that's totally going to catch pocket lint. Look at those sticks.
How does it handle Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo?
Okay.
Yeah, I was assuming some of the games like Final Fantasy VI wouldn't be that great, but I mean, it doesn't look good.
My go-to Game Boy Advance game to test is Duke Nukem Advance. That game is like the hardest one that I found, performance-wise. Yeah.
I found Final Fantasy VI for both Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo tends to really push them too.
Yeah, that's a big one. The problem with that one is there's also compatibility issues where you get like the weird textures and
yeah, so it's...
I mean, this is e-waste, but just the fact that you can get that much for $33 is kind of crazy.
I would actually take the sticks.
Crazy, yeah.
I would take the sticks off this. That's what I would do. I would just hack those sticks off. And let's see, do they even light up? I don't think they light up. I would take the sticks off, and then I think you have, with custom firmware for the price, I think you have something maybe workable here. Because I like the face buttons, and the D-pad's not bad. It's not as bad as you think here, but I don't know. Mono front firing speaker, really nice purple plastic, decently sized battery that comes out easy.
If one of these companies just made a Game Boy Color clone, I feel like that would be really successful.
Yeah, why that feels like such a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
Why aren't more like they could do this, but like why are they putting sticks on it? Like as if this thing is gonna do Dreamcast or whatever. Like nobody's buying this for Dreamcast. Come on.
Like you can get really cheap Game Boy Color shells and just put this horrible thing in just a Game Boy Color shell, and I guarantee you people will buy it. Like I would order 2 of them just to have different colors.
The Steam Deck size joysticks that are not actually Steam Deck size, the caps here fit this actually perfectly. You kind of have to squeeze a little bit, but they go right on there. So we go Stubbs nubs. We got Stubbs nubs on the R35S Plus.
You heard it here. He has Stubbs nubs on the D.
Now, I mean, is my mindset changing right now from this? I'm definitely getting a little bit more stimulated in the pancreas, which is really nice. I'm glad you're all watching this right now. Okay. So enough of that. You know what? Let's talk about our guest and ask him if he has an Android operating system calculator. And because this is the other thing we need to talk about soon, the GHL BD and it can play Doom, and we'll talk about that soon. But no, for
I only have one calculator, and it's with my D&D stuff, and I only use it for D&D. No.
Do you just want to play D&D? Should we just stop the show? We just play D&D? We can do that.
That's why I showed up. But you guys want to talk about all this tech stuff, so you
know what, guys? Let's do something different. We talk about handhelds every week. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons on today's segment.
Are you serious?
Hanging with TechDweeb. Sure, it's your show. You're the guest. We let the guest pick. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some
all right.
Some D&D. Tell me how does it work?
Oh, you don't know how to play?
Well, I played it like a long time ago, but I can't say I was ever good at it or really knew the rules.
All right. Well, let me set the scene for you. All right. Okay. So Dungeons and Dragons it's basically an analog video game. So you can attempt to do anything. I am the game master, and I'm sort of like the god of the world. I set the scene, and you have your characters in the world, and you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what happens. So I have dice, and I roll those dice, and I know rules that decide if the action succeeds or fails. Ordinarily, you'd all have like character sheets and dice and know all the rules and stuff, but I think we should just wing it and just play and just try some stuff out. I got all the dice. I got all the dice we need right here. Look, I got a dice. We're good. So
okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So any questions?
Game. Rob, Aish, you good with this?
I'm good. We just go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just tell me what you want to do, and I'll do all the rules and stuff.
So you're the computer, kind of like you're the emulator.
Dungeon master.
Yeah.
Dungeon master.
I'm like the emulator. All right. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
In the tiny hamlet of Dweeb Haven, nestled between the shadow of the ruins of the ancient towering tower of Tetris, adventurers gather in the hallowed halls of the Mother's Dungeon Tavern, drawn together by fate's unseen hand. The promise of adventure hangs tantalizingly in the air, awaiting those brave enough to seize it. So, sitting in the tavern, we have this guy. This is Stubbs the Stubborn, and he's a half orc. With an axe that's also a guitar. It's a guitar.
Your drawings of me are the best. Can I just share real quick what you gave me for my birthday? So TechDweeb drew this for my birthday, everybody. And there I am with pickles. And it was just it melted my heart. Thank you. I'm glad your mom let you mail that.
I drew that during your last podcast.
You did?
You mentioned it was your birthday, and I immediately grabbed my pen and just drew that for you because I would have forgotten.
Thanks, man. I had a good birthday, even better because of this heart tech.
Nice.
That was good.
Nice. Okay, so so there we got Stubbs. So Stubbs is there. He's in the tavern, right? You're in the tavern.
Okay,
Stubbs.
I'm in the tavern.
And then we also have Aish the Arcane, who is a elf warlock from the far away fabled land of Mexico. And he
does this music work for your dungeon? I can get some dramatic music if you want.
Well, if you have like some fantasy ambient music of some sort, like some lutes and some hurdy-gurdies or something, that always goes well.
I'll see what I can come up with.
So Aish, he has a smartphone with a Google Doc of all his spells. So you got like fireballs and stuff like that.
As I would.
Amazing.
And of course, we have the lovable Retro Gizmo Rob, who is a gnome from the E-Wastelands, who comes wielding a basket of old broken POW kitties with swollen batteries that he throws at his enemies. And he also has a whip made out of mini USB cords. All right. So as the flickering torchlight dances upon the... hang on, let me arrange you guys there. As you know what I should do? Hang on.
What? Okay.
Let's set the mood here.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that.
Wait. Oh, okay.
All right. As the flickering torchlight dances upon the tavern walls and the laughter of the dirty townsfolk fills your ear holes, the bartender approaches. He's a short halfling man with curly hair and a stubbly chin and thick, cloudy spectacles. and he speaks thusly. He says, "Hey guys, how you doing? Can I get you some root beer?"
Yes, please.
This is where you talk as if you are your character. All right. How many?
Yes.
How many root beers do you need? Do you need like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? Or you can stop me anytime.
I'll have one, please.
I'll have one.
Thank you.
All right. So this guy's name is Dweeb, and he goes off to go get your root beer, and then all of a sudden a crackle of energy sounds and a flash of light fills the tavern, revealing a bearded man cloaked in plaid standing in the center of the room. A few of the townsfolk scream and hide under the table, and the man, he points at the halfling bartender and utters an incantation, and the bartender turns to stone, and a scroll of parchment flies out of the halfling's pocket and into the hand of the wizard. And the wizard lets out a deep, maniacal laugh, and with a spin and his plaid robes billow, and then he disappears as fast as he appeared. And then an elderly halfling woman runs out and from the kitchen, and she starts crying and hugging the stone boy, and says, "Oh, my son, that was the evil wizard Sujano, and he turned my boy Dweeb into stone."
Oh no! Oh no! We have to roll for something, right? Don't we have to?
Not yet. You tell me what you want to do. So this lady is crying over her son.
Okay. We want to comfort her.
All right, let's roll for that. Let's see how good you are at comforting this lady.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay. She wipes her nose on her sleeve, and the tears are still pouring, but she calms down a little bit, and she says, "Oh, please, you need to help. My son, he's been turned to stone by the evil wizard Sujano, who hates dweebs. Sujano, you need to go steal the wizard's spell book so we could turn him back into not stone." Sujano lives atop the towering tower of Tetris, deep within the spooky forest.
He would.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to try a deep petrification spell.
All right. Yeah, so let's do an Arcana check to see how much you know about depetrification. Sorry, no,
Aish,
you don't remember that from magic school, and you don't have it in your Google Doc of spells.
Aish, if you don't like depetrification, leave a like. If you like depetrification, leave a like.
All right, so are you gonna go on this quest?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna go after evil Sujano.
We're gonna get that
full of cow kitties.
We're gonna get that evil Canadian man.
All right. So you leave the tavern and plunge into the dark, spooky forest. And you're walking through the forest, and it's all spooky, and there's bats and the hooting of owls, and it's all scary. So who would like to try to lead the party through this spooky forest?
I'll lead.
All right, Stubbs. Let's see how good you do.
Okay.
The dice tell me this. As you walk through the forest, you see in the path ahead an overturned cart with arrows sticking out of it.
Overturned cart with arrows. I don't have a controller to play with, so I'm trying to have to imagine what I want to do. Interesting. Yeah. This is a whole new medium here. Okay.
Your brain is the graphics.
I can do anything that I want. Wow, this is like a lucid dream while awake. This is great. Okay,
that's the idea.
All right. Well, the cart is overturned, right? So, are there any apples? What was in the cart?
You can't tell from this distance. It's kind of in the path ahead, and there's arrows sticking out of the cart.
Okay.
Is it dark?
It is dark and spooky.
I say throw a Pow Kitty.
Wait, no. Wait. Try a light spell first. Light the way.
Yeah, Pow Kitty that explodes.
Do we want to take a knife and puncture a Pow Kitty battery to try to get some light?
or we can just try a light spell.
Do we have handhelds with us back in this time? Is it another time? Are we in another
I have a bag
or?
full of Pal Kitties.
Oh,
it's sort of like it's sort of like a think about it like Adventure Time land, where like it's like medieval, but like also there's technology. I don't know.
Rob has Pal Kitties. Rob has Pal Kitties.
Can I turn the flashlight on my tablet?
On your phone?
Yeah.
If you want to do that instead of throwing flaming Pal Kitties, then you could do that.
No, flaming Pal Kitties.
All right. So Rob's gonna throw a flaming Pal Kitty. All right. The flaming Pal Kitty, it flies through the darkness and it lands beside the cart and it illuminates the area. And you see hiding behind the cart, ready to jump out, is a goblin. And he jumps out. And he goes blah, and he starts running towards you.
Throw another Pal Kitty.
Yeah. Toss a Pal Kitty right at him.
Use my USB cable.
Rob.
Swing one at him.
Roll for it.
All right, what are you doing? The Pal Kitty or the USB cable?
USB cable.
Lasso.
All right. Oh, you miss. All right, so the goblin he dodges out of the way of your USB cable, and he jumps at you, Stubbs. And and he claws your face with his claws, and you take 5 points of damage.
Wait, I couldn't have stopped that at all?
No.
Oh, the dice told me that you didn't stop.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The dice tell the story.
I got hurt.
All right.
Okay.
So now Rob has had his turn. So either Aish or Stubbs can go next. What would you like to do?
The goblin guitar axe.
The goblin is in your face, Stubbs.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna swing my guitar axe and get him.
All right, let's do it. Oh, you miss. Your guitar axe hits the dirt beside him, and he lets out a laugh, mocking you.
What's the laugh sound like?
It sounds like a goblin laughing that I don't want to do.
All right, that's fine.
All right, Aish, it's on to you. What would you like to do?
Can I throw fire at it?
Sure. You're a wizard. You could kind of do almost anything. All right. Oh, you missed too. You guys are rolling terribly. All right.
We're doing horribly, guys.
Pal Kitty.
Better.
Yeah. All right. It's the goblin, and he's gonna keep slashing at you, Stubbs. And he's gonna deal 5 more points of damage to you.
How much?
Your face.
How much HP do I have left?
Don't worry about it.
But don't I need to worry about it to help inform my decision?
That's for me to worry about for you.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, there's all sorts of numbers. You don't need all these numbers in your life.
Do I have a healing potion? What else do I have on me besides that?
No, I can try healing you later.
I can bang on my X55 buttons and cause a whiplash effect.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
You have adventuring gear with you, so you could do that. But on your turn, so it's Rob's turn now. What would you like?
Throw a Pal Kitty X7 at it.
No, X55. Bang those drums.
You're going for the Pal Kitty. All right, let's do it. You throw a Pal Kitty and it's a hit. The Pal Kitty explodes and the goblin gets covered in flaming battery goo, like napalm, and he falls to the ground and he's on fire and he's screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Good job, Rob.
Yeah. All right, Stubbs, you want to finish him off?
Yes, I've always been wanting to be asked that question. Yes.
All right, you're gonna because he's on the ground, you're gonna roll with advantage, which means you roll the dice twice and you keep the higher number. So 12 and 19. You chop his head. Yeah, you get to kill him. So because you're the one who kills him, you get to tell the story of how you killed him.
Goblin.
So you go ahead. How does he die?
So I swing the guitar axe and I hit him with it, but I feel really, really bad. So I just poke him in the eyes to death with Stub Nubs, the ring, which is no longer on sale.
Jesus.
I can confirm that is a bad way to die.
That's way worse. Oh my god.
All right.
But it seems nicer.
So you have defeated the goblin, and as soon as the goblin dies, you can hear some very faint noise. It is the noise of some crying, like a crying child.
Let's see what that sound is.
All right, so you're gonna go over and investigate the cart then? That's where the
Yes.
sound's coming from. All right. You pull open the cart, and hiding underneath the cart is a goblin woman and a child. And
Oh no.
And they're crying because
I just took out their husband's father with my nub.
You stabbed him in the eyes.
Yeah, you killed their father
This is the
and
incident
husband.
that I was talking about.
And she looks up at you and she says,
You chose
"Why?
violence.
Oh,
why would you do this?"
Let me roll to be their new dad.
All right.
Wait, no, it'd make more sense if I roll to be their new dad.
No, sorry. You got a 2. No.
Can I roll to revive him?
The child says, "You'll never be my dad," and they run off into the forest.
Oh,
What he needs is the retro tech dad.
I feel bad. Can that kid needs a dad. Can we roll for Rob to be the dad, or go after him, chase after him?
You rolled so bad that they ran away.
Can we revive the dead dad?
No, you have a job to do. You're on a quest.
But I feel really I'm kind of stuck on this thing because I just murdered someone.
Well, that's Dungeons and Dragons for you. You can really get sidetracked pretty easily. But I'm telling you, if you want to finish it any reasonable amount of time, you've already done terrible things. You just got to accept it and move on.
Okay, all right, move me along the path. We got to go stop Sujano. There, you know what? There has to be sacrifices. There's collateral damage in any war. War never changes.
That's the right attitude. All right, so Stubbs leading the way. He leads through the forest, and you can see a faint glow through the trees. And as you emerge from a clearing, you can see the towering tower of Tetris standing in front of you, and there is a light on in one of the windows up top. You approach the tower, and there is a door, but the door looks. It's like a big, heavy wood door. Picture like a tower from like Lord of the Rings or whatever. Big door, right? Yeah. What would you like to do? Above the door, above the door, it says the letters STMS are inscribed above the door.
STMS.
STMS.
I don't.
It stands for subscribe to Mr. Sujano.
Oh, subscribe to Mr. Sujano. That's right. I want to crawl under the wall.
Crawl under the wall.
Yeah. You could just knock.
It's a wall. How do you crawl under a wall?
Let's just knock on the door.
Knock on the door. Stop choosing
violence. All right. I'll knock on the door. I'll knock on
knock
on the door.
Makes more sense. Start simple. I didn't know. Aren't we sneaking up on? Are we doing dastardly?
We didn't do so well last time.
I think the screams from the orc in the forest already let him know we're there.
Okay.
It wasn't an orc. It was a goblin.
Sorry,
goblin.
It was a goblin.
Come on, Aish, pay attention.
Respect the dead.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go inside. Let's knock.
All right. As you knock on the door, a crackling beam of electricity flies out and zaps you, and you take 5 damage, Stubbs.
No. All right.
Okay, it's now time to choose
the door appears to be trapped.
See, I told you guys. I told you guys.
I want to roll to summon Russ to do Hadouken on the door.
That's a little far-fetched, I'm gonna say.
Hey, you said I could do whatever I want. I'm a warlock.
But you can attempt to do anything you want, but it's my job as the god of the world to decide what is within the realm of possibility. And if something is possible, I will roll the dice. But
can we have Asian dance?
Can I do a
Russ is like
door?
Russ is like a level 20 NPC. You can't just summon epic level NPCs to fight for you. Come on now.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey, thanks for being a member, Wakranai Sensei.
Can I conjure a Hadouken at the door?
You could try to Hadouken the door, sure.
Let's do that.
Oh yeah, you got it. All right.
Yes.
So Aish, you do the perfect quarter circle, a quick punch combo, and that Hadouken, it flies out from your hands and it hits the door and it smashes open, leading to the inside.
Do we have an eagle? Can we fly on an eagle?
We're already indoors.
Oh.
Let's just run up the tower.
Okay, let's go up the stairs. Let's go up the stairs. Let's go get to Sujano. Yeah.
All right. So you go in and you're on the ground floor. And this place is really, really nice. It's like the lobby of like a nice old tower or whatever. And there is a spiral staircase leading up to the next floor above. And this spiral staircase, it has alternating orange and black steps. Every other step is orange and every other step is black. And there is a small cat that is walking around, purring, and it sees you come in, and it sort of acts nonchalantly the way cats do, and it acts like it doesn't see you, but it totally sees you.
Oh, throw the cat. It's a trap. The cat's a trap.
Not the cat.
Don't hurt the cat.
Cat.
No. Throw the cat to see if it's a real cat, because the cat will land on its feet.
So you could try that. Throw Sujano's cat.
I was gonna say Sujano's cat's not so little.
I don't know who's. I don't. It's listen. We knocked on the door and I got hurt. It was a trap. This cat, we need to test. It's not going to hurt the cat. We need to test to make sure it's a real cat.
I think you're onto something.
The cat lands on its feet. If it's Sujano,
the answer.
If it's Sujano dressed as a cat, he'll not land on his feet.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. All right. Yeah, you got it. You run over and the cat looks like it's trying to get away from you, but you're quicker on your feet than the cat. So saith the dice. And you grab that cat.
See?
And as soon as you pick it up, the cat says, "Oh, let me go. What are you doing?"
See? Cats don't talk. Not a cat.
Hadouken the cat.
I am a cat. I'm a talking cat. I come from a faraway land.
I put the cat down now.
I come from a faraway land of a race of talking cats that is not the Khajiit.
Okay. Well, good. Put the cat down. Let's continue. Sorry, cat.
Hey, Russ is in chat. Does that mean I can summon him?
No, you haven't leveled
summon
up.
Russ. Can we summon Russ?
Okay, no.
Oh, okay.
Of course not.
You're like a level 1.
Russ will need to join the campaign properly with a character sheet. We do not have time for this. Russ, come on.
Enough.
Stop interrupting the game.
Okay, well let's continue. Yeah, what's next?
All right, the cat says, if you're here to see the wizard Sujado, I will tell you where he is, because I'm sad because Sujado is too busy all the time making YouTube videos. He doesn't have time to cuddle me anymore. But I will warn you, Sujado is powerful, so you probably want to try to avoid him, because if you get into a fight, he'll like fry you up with fireballs or whatever.
I want to escape.
Use my USB cable. Swing around, swing out the window, something.
The cat says Sujado is upstairs.
Go upstairs.
Use my USB cable to climb up to the top floor.
I don't like conflict though. I don't want to.
It's too late, Stubbs. We've seen what you can do.
I've been murdering people unintentionally, and
you stabbed a goblin in the eyes and you threw a cat. It's too late now.
All right.
You did show up with an axe.
Yeah.
It kind of rings hollow if you say you don't like conflict, but you show up with an axe.
Well, do I have anything else on me though?
Besides you have all sorts of stuff. You have a backpack full of stuff.
What's in the backpack again?
Well, 50 feet of rope, 10 days of rations, some batons, some torches, a flint, tinderbox. I don't know. What else do you want in there?
Was there any handheld stuff?
That's Rob.
Okay.
Sure. You got a what was it? The SJGam thing.
R35S with my nubs.
Yeah, you got one of those.
R35S Plus.
Especially with your nubs on there. That's a weapon.
I'm going to battle with this.
Blow a hole.
There you go. That's
in the ceiling, so Sujano falls down to where we are.
Yeah, use one of my pal kitties to do it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we'll use my rope. Ceiling. I have rope.
No, we want to make a hole in the ceiling so Sujano falls through it. So we don't have to go up there.
How do we know that he's standing right above this hole?
The cat told us.
How do you know the rate? Oh, he's right above us. Okay. All right.
The cat told you he's upstairs. This is a big tower. It's not like
we throw the battery from the Powkiddy again. We blow through the wall. Explode the battery.
Sujano falls down.
Sujano falls down.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you throw the Powkiddy with a swollen battery at the ceiling, and you rolled terribly. So the battery it explodes, but you totally hit the wrong part of the ceiling that you weren't trying to hit.
No,
and,
Rob.
Yeah, and instead of Sujano falling down, something else falls down. A giant golem made of handhelds. So this is like a big statue.
Not the RG Nano.
It's like a big statue that's made of a bunch of handhelds, and it's like a sentient statue. And it goes to slam its fist at you. And you guys are gonna roll for initiative now, and I'm gonna figure out who goes first. And it's gonna be
a weapon.
It's gonna be Stubbs. Stubbs, you're first to act. What are you gonna do?
No. Why Stubbs?
Doesn't have eyes. Stab it.
Oh, I'm going to take my R35S Plus by SJGam. I got the spiky nubs on here, and I'm going to whack right into the forehead.
Excellent choice.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you got it. You strike a mighty blow. Canada. Yeah, and you deal 15 damage on it. But this is a tough thing. This is like a mini boss. So you heard it, but it's not dead yet. All right, we're going over to Aish. Aish, what would you like to do?
I want to conjure quicksand under it so it gets stuck.
Oh, excellent choice. Let's see. The dice say no. Sorry.
Oh, man. I'm a terrible warlock.
Your quicksand is way too slow. It's just sand, really.
Okay. Can I throw it in its eyes?
No, the dice. You
Oh,
try to think. On your next turn, you can try something else. All right, the handheld. It's going to choose one of you and attack you. And Stubbs, it's going to swing its fist out and smash you, and you're going to take 5 damage.
Okay.
All right, Rob, it's your turn.
I'm going to use my USB cable and lasso it up and tie it up so we can bypass it.
Oh, yeah. That's a natural 20. So the way this works, if you roll a 20, no matter what you're trying to do, it succeeds, more or less. I mean, to an extent. But yeah, you got it. All right. So you tie up the handheld in a mini USB cable. Did I say it was mini USB?
Yes.
I forget. It's either mini USB or micro USB. It's not USB-C though. So you tie him up, and he's like struggling. It's like moving around, but it can't get out. You got it. It's incapacitated.
Excellent.
And a voice comes
from. Do I add it to my Pokédex?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. All right. A voice comes booming from upstairs, and it says, "What's going on down there? Who's making all that noise?"
And
respond. It's Stubbs.
Yeah.
Blame Stubbs for it.
It's my fault.
All right, and then from the hole in the ceiling, a figure floats down, magic-like, and it is none other than the Sujano wizard.
Ah, there he
is
for
you. His presence is powerful and demands respect.
Throw the cat at him.
I'll blind him with the glow of my Powkiddy.
I'll take him out with my R35S.
We still have sand.
Plus.
We can throw sand at his face.
Yeah, throw sand. Throw sand before he says anything. His
All
words
right,
are going to make us.
We're going to let the dice decide who goes first. Oh, it's Aish. Aish, what would you like to do?
I'm going to Hadouken Sujano. It hasn't failed me yet.
All right, let's see. Oh, that's a high roll. Yeah, you got it. All right. You do a huge Hadouken on Sujano, and your Hadouken flies through the air, and as it hits him, a ball of protective energy shields him from your Hadouken.
Oh, man.
And he lets out a laugh. He goes, ha, 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 ha. You can't get me that easy. All right, Stubbs, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm not going to attack him. I want to ask him if he actually wants to fight us. Like, okay. Is this, are we good? Is he sorry? We can stop this right now, you know?
All right, I'm going to roll for persuasion as you persuade him. Yeah, you got a good roll. And Sujano says, Well, I never wanted to fight you. You just came in here and started throwing palkities and exploding my place up.
Your little mini boss tried to attack us. What do you want us to say?
He's my protective boss. He only fights. He's like a bee. He won't bother you unless you bother him.
What? Ask him why he petrified the bartender.
Yeah, why do you petrify the bartender? Why was there? We're just here to avenge and figure out what's going on. So
he laughs and he says, "Oh, the things you don't know. Dweebo, the bartender, is not who he seems. He's actually a man named Russ from the fabled land of Retroglabe Clorp, and he's been working for the evil shadow organization Amber Kitty Neo to suppress the ancient knowledge contained within this scroll." And he holds up the scroll that he got from Dweeble, and he says, "In here are designs for the perfect D-pad, perfect shape and size and texture, no false diagonals, easy Hadoukens. With this, the world will get the perfect handheld that they've always dreamed of. And then we'll have no need to buy handheld after handheld over and over, each messing up some important parts so that none of them are perfect on purpose. It's their evil plot." Yeah.
I know how to get it.
Burn it.
Summon Cheeto Steve.
Oh, if we like and subscribe, to him.
Oh yeah,
will he give us the D-pad?
Well, Sujano says before you do that, he says, and we'll have no more need of YouTubers who endlessly review all these cheap, janky handhelds with imperfect components.
Burn it. Burn it.
See, that's what I've been saying. Burn it.
And Sujano, he says, so the choice is yours, my friend. You have defeated me and you get to decide. Do you take the knowledge and create the one handheld to rule them all? Or do you destroy it for the sake of a hobby that has enslaved the world?
So we get to continue our shenanigans shilling e-waste from China if we destroy the knowledge.
This is the moral conundrum.
But we got into this. All of us got into this for the ultimate one handheld.
But it's a philosophical question, I guess.
Stubbs.
What?
The ultimate one handheld would imply that we all want the same thing. If
True,
we pick this one, then there's no more handhelds. There's only this one.
But we know what it is. We can go back to a regular. We can go back to a regular. We can go back to our regular lives. No more of this crap anymore. You know, all this stuff that we're doing. Have you seen what I just ordered? What is happening
for PSP?
Be done
it's
with
not
this.
going to be the perfect handheld for Game Boy.
You don't know that. It's the one has the perfect D-pad.
For some of us, the hobby is the e-waste.
Exactly. I say destroy it.
Destroy.
But I kind of want to know. We're not unanimous in this. Is this like a jury? Do we need to be unanimous?
Well, I mean, that's life, right? Like sometimes people don't agree. So what do you do? You tell me.
Rob, tie Stubbs up with a USB cable.
Just choose capitalism.
I'm gonna tie Stubbs up with my micro USB.
All right,
cable.
it works. You got it.
No.
The dice say that happens. Stubbs, you're trying to do the right thing, but then Rob, he whips his USB cable around you, and you can't do anything because he's got you tied up. And Sujano, he says, "Ha ha ha! That's what I expected."
Perfect.
All right. And Sujano says, what will the world look like now that such important decisions have been made? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then this is where we would end the adventure because the campaign, D&D campaign, it actually goes on for like 6 months. Like you play every week for like 3 or 4 hours.
We gotta have you back on.
On.
We need to have you back on to see what happens next.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah, so that way you need me really. If you think about it.
You've hooked me now.
So does this mean we start a weekly D&D stream?
Okay.
I think it just means that I need to be a regular on your show.
We need to have you more often. Yeah.
And we need to play D&D every single time.
Yeah.
Wait, before. Just pause the game where we're at. Don't we need to save our state and not tempt fate?
Yes, and you do.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I like how a lowly micro USB cable got you, though.
You got me, man.
Does this mean we have to eliminate Stubbs now? He knows.
Well, maybe Stubbs the Stubborn will become a villain in the campaign, and you'll have to fight him at some point.
He'll join sides with SJGam.
Yeah, it's an intricate tapestry of drama, the world of D&D, and you never know what's going to happen. And your actions can affect the story too. So yeah, that's. I hope you're on the edge of your seat.
Frightening me. We'll see. We gotta have Aiden on them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, will join us next time with TechDweeb, where we're gonna find out what happens next in this thrilling story of us against SJGam and the evils of the world. SJGam's our friend. We need to have him on to play his character.
That us? I don't know, man. You turned your back on us.
Hey,
there's no us anymore.
Well, we got to have the one
handheld. Because you're the e-waste guy.
I think Stubbs was evil all along.
I'm so I think I just have two sides like Jekyll and Hyde. I think that's the answer here.
You went from stabbing a poor goblin in the face to trying to destroy handhelds.
I was in each of those scenarios. I was backed into a corner and I had no other options.
You had the option.
It's part of the story, right? So like maybe this crying child goblin that you killed his father, who he loved and who was a good dad. Maybe this guy grows up to be like a villain, and he'll be like later out of the story. He's got to like avenge his father or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Stubbs, you could have rolled it to talk to the goblin and calm him down.
Darn it! I forgot. I had a cat. I had a cat figure.
Oh man,
pull that out.
The cat will be in the follow-up DLC.
There we go.
Everybody,
Jado and his cat.
We'll find out. I will right these wrongs. I will find a way to bring that dad back from the dead. I'll say sorry to the cat. I'm sorry, SJGam. No, I'm not sorry, SJGam. He's causing a lot of problems now. We'll have to have him on the show, though. SJGam, we're going to have to talk about this. I don't know what this is all about, but we're going to get into this. So let's close this.
Let's get all of the retro tech YouTubers onto one show and have an epic campaign.
That'd be so much fun.
Let's close the show out, everybody. And TechDweeb, thank you for taking us through my first real, on air here D&D session. This is fun. This is good.
Yeah.
I want to learn what happens.
Thanks for doing it. See, I was trying to talk you into it, and aren't you glad you did?
Now I'm glad that I did it. I'm used to playing games, not imagining games, and so this is some fun mind games we're playing here.
Well, the thing about D&D is that you get to play on the ultimate device with a GPU with infinite power, which is your brain.
Our brains are the one device. Maybe that's the moral of the story. Well, let's end with a couple of questions we have for you, actually. We were going to have this during this section. We were going to have skew questions. So I'm going to lightning round them to you. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, okay. I think so. Yeah, let's do it.
I sent them to your mom first to approve before they got to you. So she said that all of these are on her approved list. If you didn't make it.
So none of them are going to upset me then.
Yeah, I made sure that none of them are sort of triggering. So we'll see. What's your favorite DOS game from Gareth Nor?
DOS game. Oh, okay. That's easy. Duke Nukem 3D. There's no competition. I played that more than any other DOS game. That was my favorite game for a huge portion of my life. And it's still a great freaking game. It was so ahead of its time.
I need to finish Duke Nukem 3D still. It's still a classic. And also, what's your favorite Stubbs Nubs from 3D Printed Studio?
The least painful one, which I guess would be the one that the crown logo one or whatever.
Oh, the Rosebud, yeah.
Yeah, well, you send me the two painful ones, so the less of those.
I'm surprised your mom let that get to you. She usually checks everything I send, but because she approved it. You did said she has that sort of side to her where she lets.
Where are they? Hang on, I got them here. Happen. I got them inside my Pac-Man arcade machine. See?
Oh, that's a perfect place to hide them. Yeah, look at that. You got Ring.
Nice. I got the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are so freaking painful. Why did you make them? It makes no sense.
I didn't ask for those ones. No. He said he made those ones for fun, just as an extra torture one, and that's what ended up being favorite from Game Tech Talk. That was his favorite in his review, and he said, "You know what? These are he calls them focus, and you can really control. I think you can really control the player because it's just a giant metal, giant hard spike right in the middle there.
They're so sharp though.
Not realistic.
Like, look at my finger.
Yeah, I didn't approve that design. That wasn't Stubbs' original. I like the spike. The spiky was my idea. This was he went off and had fun creating other SKUs, some of which have been gone on to rave reviews, and this one was one that ended up being discontinued after the incident. So,
well, I'm glad you're having fun.
We're all having fun over here. Good question. Thanks, Gareth Nor. Super Bottle wants to know, what old game would you update with new graphics?
Oh, that is a hard one. Oh, yeah. I don't. I'd probably change my answer if I could think about it for like an hour. But the one that pops into my brain is I was playing Cannon Fodder the other day.
Nice.
I was getting ready for my I was doing it on DOS, and
okay.
Although my favorite version is the 3DO version, but I was doing it on DOS, and I was thinking it's such a fun idea for a game, such a fun game mechanic, and it hasn't really been done since then. That's the only game that uses that. So like a new 3D, like Warcraft 3 style looking cannon fodder. I would love that.
Can I just mention one really quick because I really wish they would make this game?
Nope, there's no time, Aish.
Oh,
on to the next one. Digital Jedi, favorite SNES game of all time. No, Aish, sorry, what did you want to say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say Chrono Trigger with the Sandland engine.
Fair. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Favorite SNES game of all time, Digital Jedi.
Oh, man. Well, I played Chrono Trigger pretty recently, and it was a really memorable game. So that would probably be my like late in life favorite game, like my favorite that I've discovered like presently. That's my favorite. But in the past, my favorite was always Jurassic Park, the Super Nintendo. Young TechDweeb loved the heck out of that one.
What about when you're going camping? Well, if you couldn't bring your Miyoo Mini Plus, what would you bring instead? Digital Jedi.
I don't bring my Miyoo Mini Plus. So when I go camping, I go what's called ultralight backpacking, which is where you really got to think about how much you're carrying. Because I go, it takes me like 4 hours to hike into the woods to where I go. So you want to bring like as little stuff as possible and the lightest version of everything. So I've actually got, I've got a video coming up where I say that this is the perfect ultralight backpacking handheld, the Funky S.
Yes,
it is the lightest handheld that I have, and it's protected because you close it like that, and it can play some good games. It's a good chance to catch up on your Game Boy and Game Boy Color library while you're out in the woods.
Absolutely, man. That is, I need a Fun Key again. Don't show that to me. Oh, you got a clear case.
This is the new one. Yeah, they just
they're always releasing new colors, which is cool.
Yeah, the video, I'm actually gonna make the case that this is the perfect handheld game if you're an ultralight backpacker, like a thru hiker.
Oh, okay, all right. We're gonna talk more about that. That's good. Good question, Digital Jedi. He also wanted to know how many pinstripes are on your shirt, but I think it's a troll question because you can't know off the top of your head exactly how many orange. And
I could count them. If you got 10 minutes.
No, well, no. We'll ask that one on the next one after you have counted. I'm guessing you have 40.
I'll say that they're 3/4 inches in thickness. So you could do your own math on that. I've got a pretty normal body. I'm 5'10", of 155 pounds. So take a shirt and 1/4 inch, and you can figure that out yourself.
How's your weight distributed?
I'm really bottom heavy. I'm kind of pear shaped.
Rob likes that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Okay. All right. So, all right, everyone, throw your guesses in. Maybe we'll hear back in the next day or two what the answer is. You'll win my everlasting respect as long as I can remember it. Good question. Who is your favorite Transformer? Leo Kaiser.
Oh, no competition. It's Soundwave.
Okay. Cool. I haven't played Transformers in a long time, but when I was a kid, I had a couple, and I liked the little Optimus Prime guy.
Well, so, yeah, did I get that right? Soundwave, is that who it is?
I don't know.
He's the stereo, the stereo that he's like a cassette player boombox that transforms. Okay. He's got little tapes, and the little tapes are also robots too.
Good answer, I think. Michael Benny, why do you only buy handhelds in one color palette? And what gives it right?
Yeah, well, I would have bought them all in orange if everybody made orange, but they don't. Only a few of them are orange. So what I love even more than orange is for things to match. I want all of my devices to match. I'm very, how do you say? I get a lot of comfort in familiarity.
Yes.
So the fact that I can get them all in the Game Boy DMG, NES, beige and red and black and gray color scheme. That's like the next best thing to getting them all in orange. And
I
can get them all in that color because the vast majority of them come in that color. And every now and then I have to paint them to make them that color, but I do it anyway.
You can do it with the little fun key there. You can dye the shell and just go to town. But I feel that I've gone through phases myself where I've liked a particular color, but they're never lasting. It seems like a year I liked white handhelds, and then I only liked green, and then purple, and then yellow, and now I'm back on green. Now that was a departure. Going back to the green was actually tough for me. I didn't see that coming. It's kind of like a D&D campaign where it's sort of twists and turns. Oh, yeah.
It's like D&D is like life in lots of ways.
I kind of have to roll for it depending on the price.
Yeah.
Good question, Michael.
I go for the orange anytime that there is not the Game Boy DMG color scheme, but if there is the Game Boy color, I'll go for that just so that they all match because I like them to match.
Man after my own heart there. And also, which member of the Retro Handhelds team is best?
Band.
Thanks. Okay, good. Moving on. Thanks, Mike. Benny. Good. Band's obviously I covet him. I've enjoyed having him. I've captured him for some years, months. I let him fly free because they say let free what you love and it'll come back to you and bring you money.
Well, he's the only one I actually like, so it was easy to answer. I'm kidding. I love you all.
Love you too, man. Hey, Matt, if you're watching, Matt HM, you called me out last time. Look, I have a new game on my CRT. It's Cool Borders 2, if you were wondering.
I noticed that.
That's a good choice.
So
I'm so jealous of your Commodore CRT. That's the Commodore screen, right?
1702, man. You got to get one.
Yeah.
You have to find one. You must.
I check Facebook all the time. I'm going to jump on it as soon as I can.
You've got to. We got to have matching CRTs. Very good question. Teb Steroni. Question for Dweeb. Have you ever considered painting half of your handhelds orange? Oh, we kind of already went over this. I think.
Yeah, I've done it. I have 2 that I painted orange. The problem with painting the shells is they take lots of coats, and it actually uses a lot of paint, and paint is kind of expensive. So it actually can be expensive hobby, especially when you get like colors that are just for like buttons or whatever. So I got like a Nintendo red just for the red buttons, but like I had to buy a whole can of spray paint just for 2 stupid buds. So that's why I couldn't do my my Miyoo Mini with the Bmo one. I could have easily painted them, but that would have been 5 cans of spray paint that I needed to buy for this. So that's more than the price of the Mini to buy 5 cans of spray paint.
So you should just sell those. I mean, that's just an awesome colorway. Okay. Yeah. Zoo wants to know, what's your favorite butt rock band?
I don't know what butt rock is.
I'm assuming he means like Creed, or Nickelback or something. That genre, alternative rock, maybe we could say.
I hate it.
What? Separate question. What's your favorite type of music? then? If it's not the best kind, then what's the other?
That's a big question. Lately I've been to music without lyrics, so anything kind of ambient. I like lo-fi, I like jazz,
like our background music right now.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
Jim Gray wrote this.
Yeah, it's like elevator music. It's not too interruptive.
Yeah, it's just kind of you sit with
it. I have different musics for different things in life. Like sometimes I want to be entertained by music, so I'll need something with lyrics. And sometimes I want the music to fade in the background and not be too distracting, so I'll need something kind of calming. And sometimes I want music to pump me up. Lo-fi is probably my favorite genre right now. But there's lots of artists that have lyrics and stuff that I like. But yeah,
as we're getting ready to wrap up here, I'll put on our more ampy music, slightly more amped, because of the last two questions here. Korean Protagonist, thanks for the donation. He misses a good old-fashioned Android phone and controller video. What does the used market look like for you? Can you beat G-Cloud spec DIY?
Oh, that would be hard. I think you could easily beat the spec, but the reason that G-Cloud is great is the intangible things that aren't on paper. It's the comfort. It's how it feels. It's the feel of the thumbsticks. It's the feel of the device. It's how long the battery lasts. I don't think you could create a device that's better on paper, but that I will be less likely to grab because it just doesn't do all the little things right. My used market is pretty sad, actually. I don't live in a great area for used stuff. I live in a small town, and the nearest cities are kind of small cities, and the big cities are quite a travel distance away. So I've been on the hunt for a CRT monitor for my DOS build and a CRT TV for my little cozy retro corner. I want a wood grain CRT TV.
Nice.
I just keep the only ones that are around are like 2 hours drive, and I'm not going to drive 2 hours to go buy something like that. So yeah.
Well, that's fair. I do hope you get one though. Jesse Lagood, I'm just shocked by TechDweeb's output. How do you manage to crank out so many videos? Do you even sleep?
Yeah, I sleep. See the problem that lots of content creators have is they don't live at home for free with their mom. So right. I don't need to go to work and I don't have friends who are always like, oh, let's hang out, let's come to my barbecue, whatever. I don't have to deal with any of that crap. I can just make videos all day. So that's how I do it. I just spend lots of time making videos, and I that's all I want to do. I love it. So it's as fun as gaming. It's as fun as hanging out with friends. It's as fun as having a long-term fulfilling relationship with a human woman. And that's all I need in life.
Your videos, dude, are just, they're the most creative in the scene, bar none. We're blown away every time. So keep doing what you're doing. Make sure your mom's feeding you nutritious food. Well, I even forgive the not having the nubs review. I know that they were stabby and painful, and luckily we used them today in our adventure to take out that poor goblin.
The annoying part is the review would have been so good because I had a good time filming it. I was so sad when the audio wasn't there. It was actually from Aiden's podcast. I had my microphone plugged in. And then I took the microphone off to put on my computer, and I forgot to switch the audio device over. So after
Aiden's to blame for all this.
Yeah, it's his fault, but don't tell him that because he'll cut you.
He'll get you. Well, good questions, everybody. Thank you. That was really good. We're running a little over here, but you know what? Wanted to give a little bit of time to have our guest and enjoy and partake of the DnD tangent. That was a lot of fun. That was good. And also, before we get out of here, remember it's Game of the Month voting season right now. So you've one more day to finally decide. Yeah, just tomorrow to decide. Are you going to vote for next month's game of 3 games of the month? So I think I voted for Wario Land 4 and
It's a good
well,
choice.
I'm not gonna spoil it all, but hop in our Discord at discord.gg discord.gg/retro handhelds, that is, and vote for this month's game of the month. TechDweeb has a similar program called the Dusty Game Society, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a Patreon only thing. It's something I do for my patrons, and we talk about the game in the private area of the Discord server, which is my Discord server, TechDweeb's Discord thing, which is the best Discord server.
Well,
and
well,
yeah.
well,
yeah, you can well all you want, but
well,
and the Dusty Game Society is more my chance to go through my backlog of all the best games, all the best retro games that everyone agrees are the best games that I didn't play.
And you got them legally and all that.
Yeah, of course. My legal backups.
Okay. All right.
That's
well, I hear your Discord is awesome. I know Crystal is Cozy was extolling the goodness of it, how it's a nice chill place, especially for various tubers in the hobby to get together and have a little spot to chill. So I need to join myself. I don't think I'm a member right now.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
I'll do an exchange for a Stubbs Nubs review. No,
I'll join. I feel lucky that because the people in my community are just so cool that I feel lucky and confused about why so many cool people have kind of congregated in a place with my name on it. It confuses me, but I feel very very lucky that such awesome people are hanging out and also that I have access to the smartest tech nerds ever. So if I have a problem, I just post my problem and I got 5 people oh, here's the answer. If I do that on Reddit, I'll get yelled at.
I know, it's such a different vibe. I love Discord so much for that, man. It's just,
so true.
It's my preferred social media spot to talk to people. It's just, I can talk the way I want to talk, the way that makes sense to me. And it is much goes over better, I feel like, than I'll go to Reddit where just people are or even Facebook. I can never quite hit it right. On Discord, it feels right. So
I just get yelled at every time I open my mouth.
Yeah, I've been... If you share your videos to Reddit, they're not so stoked on that usually, unless it's something really helpful and then related to what they're trying to look up at the time. So good times. Michael Benny, thank you for the round of beers, root beers for the crew. That is really cool. And if you're all wondering where to find TechDweeb, you can find him at TechDweeb, so youtube.com/@TechDweeb, as well as on all the social medias.
Yeah, I do the socials now. Last time you were like, "Are you on Twitter?" And I had one tweet.
You're like, no.
So I'm trying to be better. I still don't understand exactly how Twitter or X or whatever
Nobody
it is
does.
works.
We're still learning ourselves.
There's all these conversations happening, and I don't understand what they're about or how to follow back. But I'm trying, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. We'll find at TechDweeb. Look him up. He is the dude who's with us right now. Always happy to have your hands here for chit chatting. And everybody, you know what? Thanks again for joining us. We hope you've all enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your weekly dose of handheld news. Special thanks to our guest TechDweeb. Again, check him out at TechDweeb. And thanks to our channel members, patrons, and subs for making this show possible. Perks start for as little as $3 a month with RH. Don't forget to check out our other videos, Rob's other videos, Aish's videos, Dweeb's videos, and join us on our Discord to chat, play games, vote for your game of the month. We need to know what you want to play. And join us in the following weeks, where next week we'll have Ban back with us. And then Crystal is Cozy on May 13th, Steam Deck HQ on May 20th. I'll be out for 2 weeks, May 27th through June 8th or something. Camping 1 week, and then I'm actually going to be at Computex. I'm going to go visit and hang out with Asus over there in Taiwan. That'll be something new for me. So I guess the Fox will be there, so we're going to get together and Baldly Rudy. So we're going to see what's going on. Probably I'll survive the trip. If I don't, I guess, Rob, you're in charge. You've been doing the show longer. and that'll be good. June 17th, Team Pandora will be on. That'll be always awesome time to have Tim on. Then Matt on June 24th, Matt HM. July 22nd, Dead Fred. And August 12th, we're going to have Baldly Rudy on for the first time. And somewhere in between there, we got to have TechDweeb on to continue that D&D campaign because that was awesome.
Agreed.
Yeah, you gotta find out the thrilling conclusion.
And we need Sujano back on too to figure out. Yeah, can he get involved in this? Should we bring him onto this, or he needs his own character sheet and all that, right?
Yeah, the more the merrier. But the one thing about D&D is the more people you have playing, the longer it takes because you got to wait for.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But, I think a group of 4 or 5 players is ideal. That would be totally fine.
He'll have to he'll have to just watch and enjoy from the sidelines, having no control over his IP. This will be really good. It'll be fun. Well, everybody, as always, I'm Stubbs, and on behalf of Rob, Aish, and TechDweeb, take care of those handhelds and take care of each other. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.